Okay, we would like to talk about case statements. The case structure is the equivalent for LabVIEW of an if statement in most other languages. If this, then do that. You'll notice that when I created a default one, I have two states that can be in, two cases, true and false. It is a Boolean input, okay? So if I have, let's just create a switch here. We're going to create a switch and I wire this guy. When the switch is on, I'm going to do whatever is in this case. When the switch is off, I'm going to do whatever is in this case, okay? Let's just say that I'm going to output a number. So let's get a number up here and I'm going to wire him out. And I'm going to create an indicator here just so that we can see that he's there. And you'll notice that the output element right here is white. That's basically telling you that there is not a case for each element, okay? So I'm going to go in here. Let's make this one be a 2 just because, and wire it to there. And when I do that, you'll see he fills in. So now he's got a valid input for every case that exists, okay? That's real simply how you do a Boolean on-off, true-false type case statement. Case statements are much more powerful because they can be other things. For instance, if I drop down a numerical control, and let's create him as an integer, when I wire this input, notice that he changed. I now have a 0 with a default, and I have a case 1. I can create additional cases, add case after, let's make him 3, and let's add another case after that, and he's 44, just because, okay? So you can see I now have 4 cases, okay? Again, notice that my output is open, doesn't have a value for each one. I need to go into each one of these cases and wire something to it. And we'll do this. And we'll wire it there. So now he's filled in, so now he's got a case. So if the numeric says that I have value 0, it's going to run whatever's in this case. If my number is a 1 here, it's going to run this case. If my number is a 2, what case is it going to run? Since there is no case number 2, it will run the default case. 0 does not have to be the default case. I could make any one of these be default. So let's take 44 and make him to be the default, make this the default case. So now it will run this for any number that doesn't exist in my list, okay? We can also do numbers for other things. Let's change our representation here to single precision. Notice that right here, you got a little red dot on the input to the case selector, all right? And what that's telling me is the case can only do integer values. Therefore, it's making a conversion from real to integer, all right? So we'll switch this guy back to integer. Case statements are smart enough that they can even do things like text. So if we drop down a text value and wire it to it, notice that now my 0, 1, etc. have quotes around it. So now it's looking for the text value of 3, okay? And you have to remember that things 3 and 3 space are not the same thing. Okay, this is a very specific case-sensitive test. It has to match exactly or it won't run. It will run whatever the default case is. Pretty simple system. That's case statements.